Hello, hello. Thank you for stopping by my channel today. Today we're going to be doing a movie review of an older movie, Little Darlings. Great movie, and it's a classic, and let's just get right into this review. Welcome to Cat's Crazy Corner. So today I am reviewing the movie Little Darlings. Yes, it's a very old movie as it was released March 21st of 1980 from Paramount Pictures. But the reason that I'm reviewing it is I watched this movie when I was I was 10, 9 or 10. Yeah, 9 or 10 when it came out. And I thought it was a great movie back then. It's a coming of age kind of teen comedy drama thing. So it was directed by Ronald F. Maxwell. He also did the movie Gettysburg. The writers of the screenplay were Kimmy Peck and Dillon Young, and the music was by Charles Fox. He's done hundreds of scores for different films and stuff throughout his career. The movie literally only had a budget of $5.3 million, and it brought in at the box office $34.3 million. So it did fairly well for its time. Again, it's from 1980s, so it stars a lot of people in it that are very name brand people. I shouldn't say name brand. I should say very well-known actors and actresses, especially now. Some of them you will very clearly recognize their names as I say them or show you their pictures, things like that. The movie was basically filmed in Georgia near Atlanta. It was mainly filmed at the Hard Labor Creek State Park, which is near Rutledge, Georgia. And basically it was about a summer camp. Two girls from opposite sides of the spectrum, as far as one is very street smart and comes from a very poor family, poor neighborhood, where the opposite end, the other girl comes from a very affluent and a very rich family. Very proper, never had to want for anything. So it's basically these two girls go to this same summer camp, and they decide through help from their peers at the camp that they're going to have a competition for $100 to see who can lose their virginity first at this camp. So the main four characters are Angel Bright, that's played by Kristy McNichol. Then we have Ferris Whitney, she's played by Tatum O'Neal. We have Armand Assante, he plays Gary Callahan, one of the counselors. And then we have Matt Dillon as Randy, and he is one of the boys from the other camp. So basically you have Camp Little Wolf, which is the girls' camp. It's an all-girls camp. And then you have Camp Tomahawk, which is across the lake, and that's where the boys are. So pretty much the movie, is a coming of age sort of story. It starts out with the two disliking each other a lot. They don't like each other because they're from, Ferris is from the very ritzy neighborhood. She has a chauffeur and she's wearing the finer things. And then you have Angel Bright on the opposite end of that, played by Kristy McNichol, who comes from, a poorer neighborhood, and her mom is just kind of nonchalant about everything. She smokes at age 15 in the movie. Her mom doesn't want her to smoke, but she still smokes. So they kind of just dislike each other right off the bat, probably just because of the fact that they came from different areas and things. That happens quite a bit even now, where unfortunately kids decide they just don't like somebody because of where they're from, how much money they do or don't have, things like that. So this is kind of the same sort of a concept idea. There's a lot of fun parts to this movie. They have their typical girl stuff, food fights, staring at the boys from across the lake, going and swimming, and, stuffing bras, and it's got some musical stuff into it, sitting by the campfires and the typical kind of teen camp type of thing. Ferris looks at, sex as kind of a romanticized thing. It's, all about the romance and the love and the flowers and, candlelight and things like that. Whereas Angel looks at things from a completely different side. She just kind of sees it as it is what it is. It's, it's just a physical thing. It's not about emotions, and why get into all of that stuff. So they decide to do this contest. One of the other girls, Cinder, she actually is the one who decides to put up a check from, a commercial that she did. And so everybody matches it, and it slowly becomes where different cabins are coming up. Oh, we're on Team Ferris. We're on Team Angel. There's all of a sudden these t-shirts and stuff involved in it. So it gets quite fun that, all these other girls are hearing about it, and they're putting money on who they think is going to win this bet. So, Ferris decides that she thinks that Mr. Callahan, one of the camp counselors, is extremely attractive, and he seems like the perfect type to lose her virginity to, although, she's not thinking about the fact that he's a grown man and she's an adolescent, and so that would probably be frowned upon to do that sort of a thing. But that's who she decides is her target to try and lose her virginity to. On the other side of that, Angel decides that once she spots Randy, played by Matt Dillon, once she spots him, that she's going to make him the target because he seems like, he's good enough for what I need this for, and it's not going to involve a whole lot of stuff. So the other cast members in this movie, we have Maggie Bly, we have Nicholas Coster, Marianne Gordon, Krista Erickson, Cynthia Nixon, yes, from Sex and the City, very early for her. I believe she was 12 when she played this part. We have Alexa Kennan, Abby Bluestone, Simone Schachter, Jen Thompson, Treos Hayes, and Mary Benton. Those are basically the main characters in the movie, and you can see, the different names. We got Chubby, and we have Cinder, and we have Sunshine, which is funny. That's who Cynthia Nixon plays, and she's like the hippie, all-natural girl. It's quite fun to see her, especially now when you watch it. It's just it's a really great coming-of-age story. So they have their trials and tribulations, and it turns out, that clearly Ferris does not lose her virginity to Mr. Callahan because he's an adult, and he, deters that as much as he can from her, Then you have Angel, who she actually does lose her virginity to Randy in a barn off in the woods somewhere. But then when they come back, they both lie about their situations, and so I'm not going to tell you who wins the money or anything like that, but in the end, they decide that they're going to be friends now. They decide that they're actually not so different after all, just because they came from different areas, came from different money, or no money at all, that when it comes to things of, as far as love and sex and intimacy and being a teenager, that doesn't matter where you come from, we all basically have the same kind of feelings about everything. And it literally is just a wonderful movie. And the tagline is "Don't let the name fool ya." And that's because when Kristy McNichol's character Angel introduces herself to Randy, that was the tagline that she says to him is, "Don't let the name fool ya." You can literally watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. If you have a Prime membership, it's free, so you can watch it on there, or you can stream it on Vudu. You can stream it on Vudu Movies and TV or Apple TV. And I highly recommend it. It's great. It's only 95 minutes long, so it's not going to take up much of your time. There's some great music to it. And again, some of the acting is a little bit, But again, it was 1980 when it came out. So for the time that it came out and for what it is about, I think it's a fantastic movie. It's still one of my favorites. I've already watched it, I believe, 3 times now since I knew that it came out on Amazon Prime, because again, I just loved that I could rewatch something that I thoroughly enjoyed from my adolescence, and I just want to share it because honestly, I think it's a fantastic movie, great coming of age story. There's nothing overly vulgar in it, you know, like it's not quite as bad as some of these movies that come out now, but again, highly recommend it. Little darlings, make sure you go check it out and make sure to like, subscribe, and share my page. We'll be doing a lot more content here with movie reviews. If you have a suggestion for a movie that you think I should watch or do a review on, please leave it in the comments. And I hope everybody enjoyed this and have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.